EVE Online's only source for news from Notoras. Notoras is a place where you can find the finest of people with wholesome low-sec values, where you can expect capsuleers to do right by each other. The caliber of people in Notoras cannot be diminished in any way. Such is their aptitude and aptitude that any perceived shortcomings can only be a misunderstanding. In market news, the short-term investment opportunities available due to these Proving Grounds events cannot be overstated. Locally, all varieties of Veldspar are being purchased at a generous 30 ISK per unit. All varieties of Plagioklase going for a more than fair 40 ISK per unit. All varieties of Hedbergite are being purchased at a gargantuan 700 ISK per unit. You can't beat that kind of money anywhere in New Eden. Heaven doesn't offer wages that high. In professional sports news, the FFA Destroyers event was the second in the series. At halftime, the front page looked like this. Absolute gladiators. The best of the best. The cream of the crop. The gods of New Eden. Apocryt Vespulus of Notoras fame on the front page with 44 wins. Gorsky Carr. Millennium, Count Scary in third place, Dran Arcana in second place, and Cable Utah leading the pack with 96 wins. The final front page looked like this, with Cable Utah posing like the Heisman Trophy with 148 wins. Cable Utah runs the field, followed by Millennium, Dran Arcana in third, Atticus Copernicus, Sky Killer Russian, and finishing the front page, More Power with zeros. Congrats to the top 100 winners and to all the participants. The 3v3 Imperial Navy Slicer event should be a wild ride. Live now until the 11th. In political news, several capsuleers are upset that collusion seems to have occurred during the free-for-all Destroyer event. That it perhaps wasn't 100% even and 100% fair 100% of the time. It has been a shocking revelation for these capsuleers that all of New Eden neither operates under the same spaceship behavioral expectations, nor holds the same spaceship honor code that they themselves do. In wormhole law enforcement news, the Mother Clucker's deputy graduation ceremony took place on Sunday, and it seems a good time was had by all.
Circuits out.
The magnate free-for-all no filament required brought down the house. Notoras News wishes them all the best in their crime-fighting future endeavors. The graduation ceremonies are growing, and future events are destined to be fantastic. Be there, or be square. In local sports news, the Federation Navy Comet and the Imperial Navy Slicer have been back and forth as the most effective solo ship on the solo ship leaderboard. Local sports news is sponsored in part by Lidi Package Fulfillment Services. Discreet delivery. Fulfillment guaranteed. 2 times. The Notoras local leaderboard hardcore top 4 has some new faces on it. Haposai and Arrow Disdain, each with 6 solo kills. Sysphilis Farstriker with 4, and Sheltark Saikari with 3. It looked late in the week as if Yuri was going to lead the full field leaderboard with a hefty 20 kills. Look at this beauty. 33 points for a Myrmidon solo. It is a good one. Yuri doesn't have many solo kills on the board this week, but she does have the most expensive one. But going off-roading swoops in at the end of the week and wraps that shit up. For full field kill leader, 23 kills this week. Quake 590 and friends doing the lion's share of the heavy lifting this week, with the only real kill of value, this Praxis kill. Vila Tail with the final blow, and Sheltark Saikari with top damage. With so many Capsuleers on the kill, 8 points is a really good payout. Arrow Disdain pulled this Rapid Light Caracal kill with his Vexor Navy issue and was awarded 28 points. A really strong points total. On Tuesday, the Churlish Merlin Whirlin' Dervish Dust Up Fuss and Cuss Fisticuffs took place at the Sun. 2 teams faced off with roughly 20 Tier 1 frigates each. One team made up of Snuffed Out, the Initiative, and Soju. The other team made up of the Rogue Consortium and Rogue University. The fucking ruckus started at 1348 Notoras time, and 19 frigates were dead 2 minutes later at 1350. The rogues caught the first kill of the engagement, and then one more, but Snuffed Out and friends whelped the field while suffering just the 2 losses. Congratulations to Soju, the Initiative, and Snuffed Out for their stellar performances. In Oddities news, we see this kill. This was out in Who the Fuck Cares Nullsec. A Whiptail. We don't see many of these come across the kill feed. Said one local sports pundit, and I quote, "I would trample my own grandmother for a whiptail. At least he had the sack to take it out. And let me bend way over so all the haters can fucking fillet me from behind." End quote. And that is the news from Notoras. In Notoras, you can forget about the CTAs and the skill queues, forget about the corporate bullshit and the politics. Come to Notoras and enter your Jedi Hermit phase of EVE Online. Let the youngsters handle all that nonsense, and let the whole of New Eden visit you in the best system available, Notoras.